As you have just seen, the Maldives' unmatched hospitality is a gem that makes our destination unlike any other. The innate spirit of the Maldivian people, rooted deep in our culture, ensures that any stay becomes a deeply personal and unforgettable journey. Allow me to extend my warmest greetings to everyone present today at the Maldives seminar, the next chapter of Maldives Tourism Berlin edition. My name is Sabiha Ahmed, Chief Operating Officer of MMPRC. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you all to the very first Maldives seminar. The annual ITB event is very important to us. We value the chance to share our journey with you, those who communicate our message with the world and with potential travelers looking for their next dream destination. I can assure you, no matter which type of traveler, that perfect vacation that they're searching for can be found in the sunny side of life. I'll keep my introduction short, so we can go ahead with our agenda for this seminar. We'll first hear from His Excellency Corry Ibrahim, Minister of Tourism and Environment, speaking on the important initiatives, continued efforts of the government, and tourism master plan strategies. Next, Mr. Hussein Afif, Maldives tourism industry pioneer and Vice Chairperson of Maldives Association of Tourism Industry, will provide some valuable insights on how the destination started and moved forward into taking environment-conscious in tourism initiatives in product development. We will also share an exciting development of Maldivian, our national airline, before we move on to Mr. Ibrahim Shiri, Chief Executive Officer and Managing Director of MMPRC, who will be speaking on MMPRC's marketing initiatives that align with the national goals and the work undertaken by Visit Maldives to attract new types of travelers. Mr. Mohammed Halil, Advisor to the President on Tourism Development, will be delving into the importance of collaborative policies and efforts by the private sector and government. Lastly, Mr. Ablogyaz Riaz, Chairperson of MMPRC, will speak on the interest of the current traveler to Maldives and the significance of such collaborative policies and initiatives in creating more interest to the visitors. Following the chairperson's remarks, the minister will provide a brief wrap-up remark. We'll be taking a few questions at the end if there is time before concluding today's seminar. It is my hope that each of you will learn something new today about the vibrant sunny side of life that will ultimately inspire you to create stories that will truly resonate with the uniqueness of the Maldives, the world's leading destination. I would now like to invite our first speaker, His Excellency Corry Ibrahim, Minister of Tourism and Environment, to give his remarks.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to you all. First, I would like to welcome all of you to this event. The vibrant tourism sector in the Maldives has recently passed its 50th year in 2022. This is much that we have achieved and much we have learned in the past half a century. It is with these lessons, these experiences, that we need to look to the future. And this is precisely why we named this event the next chapter of Maldives tourism. Tourism has been the driver of our remarkable economic growth and development. When tourism began in 1972, we received about 1,000 tourists annually. Mr. Afif, who is one of the pioneers of the tourism industry in the Maldives, will very well recall how this developed and the remarkable speed at which the industry developed as well. The past year this past year, we welcomed over 2 million tourists, quite a number once you consider that our population is less than 500,000. And this year, we have set a target of 2.3 million tourists. Achieving this target will require strong cooperation between the public and private sector. The administration of President Dr. Mohammad Muiz is committed to facilitate a conducive investment and operating environment for the tourism industry. To this end, we are exploring the required regulatory framework reforms and strengthen institutional mechanisms to better cater to the industry needs. We are also establishing and upgrading infrastructure services that can support the tourist industry and local economies. A key highlight of this would be the opening of the new terminal at Welana International Airport that can cater to 7 million passengers annually. The opening of the upgraded international airports in North and South would also greatly benefit the development of tourism in these regions and by extension, local economies and livelihoods. The success of tourism industry in the Maldives is indeed a testament to the government-industry partnership. At the policy level, successive tourism development master plans have guided the sustainable growth of the industry. Currently, we are at the 5th Tourism Master Plan. It sets the long-term direction to retain Maldives as a globally competitive destination. We aim to provide the world's best tourism services and memorable experiences to visitors while ensuring the industry can bring substantial and lasting benefits to the community, the workers in the industry, and the tourism and related businesses. We also recognize that our guests today are not the same as those who visited us decades ago. If we want to maintain our position as a world-class destination, we must ensure that every stage of the traveler's journey, from the moment they first think of visiting to when they arrive, experience our country, and finally depart, is effortless, immersive, and as unforgettable as the Maldives itself. We need to harness developments in technology not just to improve efficiency, but to build a tourism industry that is resilient, competitive, and future-ready. As the Minister of Tourism and Environment, I would like to remiss of me not to speak on the topic in the context of tourism development. Our natural environment and biodiversity remains the foundation of our tourism industry. Safeguarding this is in the interest of all. Yes, everywhere else in the world, we also do have a lot to improve. But I'm proud of how our tourism industry has centered environmental conservation. We will be working more on this in the future, exploring various modalities to celebrate, enhance, and strengthen these efforts in partnership with the tourism industry. Before I conclude and hand over to the next speaker, I would like to thank you once again for joining us here today. And if you have not visited Maldives, why not do so this year? Thank you.
Thank you, Minister Tourig, for your valuable insights. I now invite Mr. Hussein Afif, Maldives Tourism Industry Pioneer and Maldives Association of Tourism Industry Vice Chairperson, who will share his insights.
Yeah, I have too much things to say and too little time for it, But I'll just try to run you down 50 years shortly. Well, the first tourists came to Maldives in 1972, and this has been told many times, but I must say I had the privilege of meeting the first tourists who got down from the aeroplane, and I can tell you, we didn't need passports at that time, so we went through very fast. And we didn't have hotels, so they stayed in some houses in Male. And then we built the first resort in the country, which was in Kurumba, if I may name it. And everything went at so fast speed. The Maldivians had never seen a European, have seen a European, but not in the context of a tourist. So most of the people were not trained to run a hotel, not me either. And so it was all on-the-job learning. So from the top to the bottom of all the employees, everybody was learning on the job. And I think we have to give some credit to all these fantastic young guys who learned, but we had one thing in common, and that was to be of service and nice and kind people by nature. The Maldivians were like that. So we had all the tourists going back to their country very, very happy. We didn't have all these foods that we may have now, no salads and nothing, no meat, it was only fish. So, and then most of the tourists who came were going diving most of the time. And then they slept in very primitive rooms, which had water coming from the ground. So every island has a water table where we were taking water, pumping water onto a high tank, and then from there it went down to the rooms. So, and then due to pumping, all this water became saline, so it became salty water after some time. And then we had to go through this. And so that was how it all started. But we had happy tourists, I can tell you. And these happy tourists evolved and evolved all because of the nature of the people and kindness and everything. And they came. So, and then the next year started, and we were talking about developing fresh water. So we got a freshwater plant in the early 80s, the first freshwater plant. So we were able to give the tourists fresh water. Then we had air conditioning fixed, so which was very, very good. The tourists liked that. And then we went on like this, developing all different ways to give comfort to the guests. And then way back in the 90s, we did this, all the resorts started to apply this air conditioning and fresh water into the rooms. Then in late 90s to 2000, many things happened because we were, from all this really, our staff started to get qualified. And today we have highly qualified staff in the Maldives, ranging from getting qualified in Cornell University to universities in Malaysia, Singapore, England. So we had to train the staff. We had to have our own chefs. So now the whole country is very much developed to have our own staff of international standards. Then we came into having in 94, so we started thinking environment, which we didn't think about because everybody threw their garbage into the sea. And then we started thinking environment. Two operators told us, all we were educated by people, by the tourists who came, we were educated. No, you can't throw these things into the sea. Somebody else would say, oh, it kills the coral. Then it kills the coral, the plastic going. So that's why I'm saying, on-the-job training we had, And then we started, the first thing we did in early 80s was to stop harpooning fish. We could not kill fish by harpooning. That was bad. In the 90s came no catching turtles. So it was banned. I think even today it is banned, you know, and these were taken as very positive things by tourists. And tourists, you tell me if I'm going too long. And then we came into this desalination water and solar energy. In late 90s, or no, middle of 2000, we started to build resorts with only using solar power. That was done. And then now everybody is using solar power. Many resorts are doing 2 megawatts, 1 megawatt of solar power, saving a lot of diesel. And then we came on to building more sophisticated resorts and more nicer resorts. And now we are going into building also. Some resorts now are planning to have their own turtle hospitals, like treating, because we have a lot of demand from students who we know there are students learning the sea life of Maldives in America, but they don't know what it is. So what we have planned to now is to have our own turtle hospital, and also to educate the Maldivians who can really treat these animals, the sea life, and also bring outside students from different universities. This is something very new. It's going to happen very soon. We will have our own hospital for doing such things. Then we come to garbage disposals, and I know a lot of, that's a big problem now. And with the introduction of garbage disposal, most resorts are having their own garbage disposal programs where they burn the paper waste and they crush the tins, cans, and export it. And then we also throw, the garbage is taken into a special island where the government is taking care of disposing it. And so many environmental factors. This is being done, and at the same time, another problem started. We started building guest houses in the islands, in the resorts, which is very good for the community. But then there is the darker side of it, because this garbage also has, all the garbage these resorts, these guest houses have to be also disposed. So we are working on it very much, and at the moment I know a lot of private sector people are also helping islands to do the same thing that is done in the resort, so to get that they can get rid of this garbage as well. You know. So it's lots of things happening, and up to now, like I say, we are on the learning curve, and and we are doing our best to save the country, the world, and us all. You know. Well, that's about it, I can say. Thank you.
For your insightful contributions. Just to let everyone know, the seminar is being live streamed. Now, let's watch a short video highlighting the launch of Maldivians' new direct routes.
Where dreams take flight, the Maldives, from a hidden gem to the world's #1 luxury destination. Now, we're taking our legacy of excellence to new heights. Announcing Maldivians' new direct flights from Germany and South Africa to the Maldives. With more routes to follow, our sleek Airbus A330 is ready to whisk you away on a journey across continents, bringing paradise closer than ever before. With meticulously designed cabins across economy, premium economy, and business class, luxury begins the moment you step on board. Welcome aboard Maldivian, where your perfect escape is just one flight away.
What a fantastic development This new route by Maldivian will undoubtedly strengthen the ties between the Maldives and Germany, opening up new avenues for tourism and trade. Next, we welcome Mr. Ibrahim Shuri, CEO and MD of MMPRC, who will share the marketing initiatives of MMPRC.
Thank you, Sabi. Honorable guests and media partners, good afternoon. It is with great excitement that I address you today, especially following the inspiring video we just witnessed showcasing Maldivians' launch of the new route between the Maldives and Germany. This expansion is a monumental step in connecting our beautiful nation with even more travelers from around the world. We are thrilled about the opportunities this new route will bring, strengthening ties and making the Maldives more accessible to our valued guests from Germany and beyond. MMPRC's mission has always been to promote the Maldives as a world-class travel destination, and I'm confident that this new route will contribute significantly to our continued success. We are also excited to see the positive impact of our infrastructure development on the tourism sector. The new passenger terminal at Villana International Airport is a significant milestone designed to enhance the travel experience and support the continued growth of our destination. In 2024, MMPRC focused on conversion-driven marketing strategies, emphasizing compelling content and video-based digital campaigns. This approach led to a record-breaking achievement. The Maldives welcomed 2 million tourists for the first time and generated over 4 billion in tourism revenue. These results highlight our commitment to keeping the Maldives a top-of-mind destination for travelers worldwide. Our iconic Sunny Side of Life brand is evolving. While the Maldives is known for its pristine beaches and turquoise waters, we are now showcasing our rich culture and heritage. Initiatives like the Whale Shark campaign highlighted our commitment to marine conservation, reinforcing our position as a responsible travel destination. These efforts align with our commitment to sustainable tourism and environmental conservation, and our dedication has not gone unnoticed. The Maldives was named world's leading green destination at the 2024 World Travel Awards, reaffirming our commitment to preserving our natural beauty for future generations. Looking ahead, MMPRC is launching several key initiatives to enhance our global presence. The Visit Maldives shop will distribute branded merchandise, while the Visit Maldives calendar will provide centralized event information for travelers. The Visit Maldives Academy will offer training and certification for tourism professionals, and the Visit Maldives content portal will support local creatives by showcasing and selling their work. Additionally, the Visit Maldives data dashboard will provide industry insights in collaboration with global data leaders. To strengthen our reach, we have already launched the Visit Maldives Week, promoting the Maldives in key destinations such as Germany, Dubai, India, and Russia. We are also expanding on our digital campaigns, inspired by our highly successful Winter is Blue, which reached 22 million people in just 1 month. Partnership with Meta and other platforms will further amplify our messaging, while major events will promote film tourism, influencer collaborations, and storytelling. Our captivating advertising campaign at the 75th Berlin International Film Festival in February this year is one of the initiatives under these efforts. successfully showcasing the Maldives' luxury and leisure offerings to a global audience. As I mentioned at the beginning, the Maldives has been world's leading destination for 5 consecutive years, and our goal is to maintain and strengthen this position. With our dedication to innovation, sustainability, and cultural tourism, MMPRC will continue to elevate the Maldives on the global stage. To conclude, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to our partners, stakeholders, and everyone who supports our mission. Together, we will ensure the Maldives remain the ultimate dream destination for travelers worldwide. Thank you.
Thank you, MD, for the clear overview of MMPRC's marketing initiatives. Next, we have the honor of hearing from Mr. Mohammed Halil, advisor to the President on Tourism Development.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I just wanted to highlight the importance of the private sector and the government partnership in developing the tourism industry in the Maldives. I think the panelist that who has already spoken before me has highlighted how the tourism started in the Maldives. It's from a very humble start of the tourism that what we have achieved today is remarkable. The Maldives now considered as the top of the tourism destination in the world. We no longer a follower. We are trendsetter in the industry, global trendsetter in the industry. This basically proves that the partnership between the government and the Maldives, the private sector, is something that basically has worked well. I think we really need to give more credit for the private sector for what we have achieved more than the government. Government has played a regulatory role rather than the development side of it. But I know that now, with the global marketing campaigns that is being done by the destination marketing company, MMPRC, they have a limited budget. You imagine 170 resorts that we have in the Maldives today. Each of these resorts, at least, they are spending $1 million. So we're talking of for nearly 170, let's say $200 million, a marketing effort that is being done, invested by the private sector alone, on top of the destination market. So this shows the complementary marketing effort that are done by the private sector is also a reason for the growth that what we see today. So the synergy between the private sector and the government basically is the reason what we have seen today, what we have achieved today. I think in terms of the going forward to develop the tourism into faraway places, more remote parts of the Maldives, the government is expanding the domestic and the international airports, both north and south, and the government also plans to increase the bed capacity to make this specific area of the Maldives available for tourists to explore. And here again, the government is going to play a pivotal role to bring a policy that is required for the investors to come and attract this one. So it is the private sector again who really put the money in this part of the Maldives and who will basically help us to increase the arrival, who is going to increase the employment. Employment is a critical thing for the destinations, for the Maldives, in order to improve our economic growth. So I think the partnership and the synergy between the private sector and the government is a key element for the development of the nation and to provide a better life for every Maldivian. So that basically what I wanted to say. I think, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Halil, for your informative statement. Last but certainly not least, we have the pleasure of welcoming Mr. Ablogias Riaz, Chairperson of MMPRC, who will discuss the interests of current travelers of Maldives.
Good evening. Guten Tag. Firstly, it's an honor to be here again back in Berlin, representing the Maldives that has been a dream destination for travelers worldwide. As we all know, Maldives is known for its pristine beaches, turquoise waters, and world-class hospitality. But we see this evolving. We are embracing sustainability, innovation, and inclusivity to redefine the future of tourism in the Maldives. Our country is home to an extraordinary natural wonders, as many of you would know. The world's largest fish, the majestic whale shark, 5 of the 7 species of marine turtles. The Maldives is home to one of the best places in the world to witness bioluminescence. It's also the 7th largest coral reef in the world. It certainly draws various divers and marine enthusiasts. But beyond preserving these natures, we are certainly expanding our efforts. Today, we have over 91 protected areas, covering over 60,000 hectares. Plans for a nature park in every atoll. Conservation is truly in the heart of our vision. Travelers today seek more than just beauty. They crave meaningful experiences, cultural immersions, and sustainable journeys. The Maldives is certainly responding to diversify this offering, welcoming families, adventure seekers, wellness enthusiasts, and even digital nomads. Our islands are now places of exploration, from diving into breathtaking marine ecosystems to immersive local island experience, and even hosting unique business retreats. Sustainability is certainly our future. As one of the world's most climate vulnerable nations, we must certainly act now. The government aims, as I was told this morning earlier, I was discussing this and asked Minister, 33% of the nation's energy production to come from renewable sources by 2028. This is certainly backed in the Maldives Energy Act, I was told. Also, I was told recently a key initiative by our state electricity company, Stelco, that is working to transition 50% of power supply of the small islands into solar energy in the next 4 years. By the end of the current term, they aim to provide 12 hours of solar-powered electricity across all these islands. Currently, if you look at a current island called Vavu Rakidu, where diesel generations, I was told, or diesel generators now remain off for almost 22 hours a day, proving that this is certainly possible. These projects reinforce the Maldives as a global leader, certainly in the sustainable energy solutions. For travelers, this means that every visit to the Maldives certainly contributes to a sustainable future. From solar-powered resorts to marine conservation programs, visitors are not just experiencing paradise, they are part of preserving it. Certainly, we cannot do this alone. We certainly call the international partners to work together with us to expand on these initiatives. To our hospitality and tour operators, let's promote cultural and wellness and adventure tourism. To our sustainability enthusiasts, let's look at innovative ways of how we can find solutions together. To the esteemed media representatives, you shape how the world sees the Maldives. Your stories inspire millions, and we invite you to highlight not just our iconic beaches, but the communities embracing it and the sustainability of our islands. The marine biologists that's protecting our reefs, the artisans preserving our heritage. Maldives is not just adapting to this changing tourism climate. We are trying to lead it, as Mr. Halil mentioned. We are setting new standards in sustainable tourism, renewable energy, and experiential travel. But to achieve this potential, we must all work together. And I invite you all again to join us in this endeavor. Thank you. We look forward to welcoming you to the sunny side of life.
Thank you, Chairperson, for your valuable perspective. And now, to provide a brief wrap-up of today's insightful seminar, please welcome back His Excellency Minister Tourism Ibrahim.
Thank you. I think we have all spoken and it was brief, as you know, so I don't think I should again wrap up this, but I just wanted to highlight and just to correct one of the statements which Mr. Abdullah has made. That is the renewable energy target, which was a target made by our President Dr. Mohamed is to have 33% of our electricity generated in the Maldives to be from renewable energy by 2028. And also Mr. Afif and the rest of the speakers who have spoken about the importance of waste management in the Maldives. Make sure that our islands, our resorts, and our environment are safe and clean. We, in the Maldives, we are actually now we are making great efforts to have proper waste management facilities on every inhabited island. As Mr. Afif has just mentioned, that resorts have their own waste management centers. That is exceptional. They are doing good work, but in the inhabited islands, we have 182 inhabited islands. So in these islands, we wanted to have proper waste management centers, and we are targeting to complete all the island waste management centers with the proper equipment and with proper resources by the end of the year. So when we finish that, the Maldives entirely, all the islands will have proper waste management centers, and our next target is to have regional waste management centers and the proper waste collection facilities, and eventually to have incineration facilities where you can incinerate and generate electricity from the waste to heat. So that's where we are going. And I would also like to highlight that from the initial beginning of the tourism, one of the most critical areas that we have not talked today was the transportation, the connectivity, how we have actually improved our connectivity and transportation system. I remember when I was a small kid, how whenever we want to go to a resort or when we want to go to any island, the connectivity, the transport connectivity is always an issue. And when the sea gets rough, either you cannot go, or when you go to an island, you cannot come back on the day you want to come back. So this same issue was with all the tourists. So the tourism actually developed near the Male or airport because of this issue. So early 90s, the helicopter services started, and then the seaplane services started, and we also started developing our own airports where the land-based aircrafts can land. So now we have more than 20 airports around the country, and we are still developing some of the airports. Plus, with the introduction of seaplanes, Maldives, we are so proud to have the seaplanes to be one of the world's largest seaplane fleet in the world right now, if I'm correct. So these are things that is being developed, and we have international partners, the local partners or local companies who are operating land-based and seaplanes in the Maldives. So now the connectivity is very, very good, where the tourists can go anywhere in the world, anywhere in the country. The locals can go anywhere in the country on the same day and come back. So the connectivity, I think, is one of the key drivers that has developed Maldives resorts, and also the development itself, the economic development itself, has thrived because of this connectivity, and it's also partly the private sector initiatives and people like Afif and them were the initial investors on the private sector seaplane services. So I think these are things that we need to remember, and we need to improve on the future of the Maldives, so on the next chapter of Maldives as well. So I think that's all I would like to say, but I think we have a few more minutes for any questions, so that I would like to open the floor to any questions. Thank you.
Luxury Escapes. Thank you. Your Excellency, you mentioned before about the plan to take visitors to 2.3 million in this year, and the importance on the public sector and the private sector for that. And this is a question to everyone. How much importance do you put on partners such as businesses like ours in Australia and other tour operators in helping you get to that lofty goal of 2.3 million?
Thank you. I think we have actually decided how we wanted to achieve. It's not just some figures that we just pick and say that, okay, we're going to have 2.3 million. What we are trying to do is, you see, the last year destination average occupancy is around 56%. So that means 44% of the beds is not being used. That's year-round occupancy. There are markets where they travel during certain period of the time. Australia, just for the sake of argument, is a very good market for us to tap into summer. Summer period that you could take the advantage of the price advantage, and also the occupancy is low. Such as this, Middle East is another summer market that we can go. Because winter time, that our occupancy is quite high, it's difficult to get the bed, get the rooms. But the summer period, we have a lot of rooms available, such as Australia, Middle East, India, and China are the key source markets for us to minimize the seasonal variations in the year. So that's basically one way that we are looking at improving the numbers, arrival numbers. I hope that.
Yeah, it did. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any more questions?
Hello, good day to everyone. Thank you for a beautiful speech. I'm really blessed to be able to collaborate with Maldives as the most beautiful destination in the world. And thank you for this beautiful introduction. I would like to ask you regarding the latest changes regarding the climate changes. How does it influence? And since I'm also a part of travel industry, what we can notice is that off-season is no longer off-season, that the Maldives are actually destination throughout all over the world. And let's say, last 3 years, also in our market, I'm coming from Serbia, we are working a lot on awareness that actually Maldives is during all the year destination. So off-season, I believe, as you mentioned, that off-season is a good time to bring more volume of bookings in the off-season. How does it, in last 3 years, let's say, influence the market in Maldives? How would you define the climate changes? Thank you very much.
Thank you. I also have the portfolio of climate change in the Maldives. That's a good question. I think Maldives has adapted to the impact of climate change over the years. I think one of the examples I would like to take is the water bungalows. When we started water bungalows, the water bungalows is at a lower level. So as the issue of tidal waves, as the issue of high tidal waves started coming in, once we started recognizing that, we increased the height of the overwater bungalows so that it is kept above the waves. Similarly, like the bungalows, previously the bungalows and the on land was at about 5 to 6 inches above the water, land level, ground level. But now it has increased. All our infrastructure in the resorts, let's say the power plant, powerhouse, and the incinerators, the transformers, they are elevated at a higher level, about 1 meter. So we are adapting to the impacts of climate change. Maldives, everybody, every island adapts to the impact of climate change. We are there to stay in Maldives. We will adapt to the impacts of climate change. We are not going to move anywhere else. We will fight against climate change. We will adapt. And now the new resorts that are coming up, some of the islands are being artificially created that are at a higher level than the normal island level. So it's some islands are at 2 meter level, so that the impacts of climate issues such as high tidal waves, those are actually, we can actually reduce the impact of climate change due to any high tidal waves. So we are very adaptive people, Maldives. Over the last 4,000 years, we have adapted, and we will adapt on the future as well. I think maybe somebody else can talk about the numbers.
I just wanted to highlight a small thing. You see, the low season and high season actually has nothing to do with the weather in the Maldives. It's basically what's happening is 70% of the arrival still is contributed from the European market. Europeans have a tendency to travel during winter and then less during summer period, because you can basically visit within the Europe. So we are kind of a victim of the global, the environmental issues, but we're trying to adapt it. I just wanted to highlight that part of this. The summer period that we call is nothing to do with real weather. I agree with you, it's a year-round destination. Thank you.
Yeah, I think it's not only the Maldives, I think the whole world is going through this with big storms and snowstorms and fires and, whatever said. So it's not only us, and everybody is having to deal with this. Every country, every continent is having to deal with this. And definitely we see more rain and more high winds coming to the Maldives as well, and we can't deny that fact, just like what's happening in Europe or America. So we are having to deal with it, and like Mr. Minister said, we are learning, and just like I said before, it's again on-the-job learning what else to do. But what we know is that we want to find solutions and we want to remain in the Maldives. And that we are very determined to do. And that's the path we will take. But definitely it is affecting us now. We can't deny that. And that's why the government is taking all these precautions about greenhouse gases and emitting of these gases and everything like this. And these things take time to probably correct itself. But we can only take actions. And so far, we are also, a lot of islands are protecting themselves as well, And I think now the banks in the Maldives also are also funding resorts for protecting the shores, so that they have loans that are cheap loans for protection of the islands. And it's only, we are not talking about the resorts. What about all the islands where people are living as well? You know, the fishing islands, or the natives are living. So everybody is doing something, and we are also getting the UN experts and everybody to help us to do it. And I think we will get through. Thank you.
I'm afraid that's all the time we have. I'm deeply grateful for the insightful discussions and the wealth of knowledge shared today. I extend my sincere thanks to our esteemed panelists for their invaluable contributions. Each speaker has shed light on a crucial element of our thriving tourism landscape, highlighting our collective commitment to its future. Thank you all for your dedication and participation. Together, we will continue to work together to preserve the Maldives' stunning natural beauty, rich cultural heritage, and exceptional hospitality for future generations. Before you depart, I would also like to invite you to visit our stand, Hall 5.2, stand number 114, where our team will be delighted to provide further information about the sunny side of life. Safe travels, and hope to see you all next year. Thank you.